Yeah. They ain't believe me when I told them crypto was the future. Now they trying to get in, but it's too late. We been stacking marbles since day one. No banks, no middlemen, just power moves. Let's get it. Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show. Yeah, I hope you're doing well. Welcome back. I thought I'd go a little bit early again because why the hell not? There's quite a bit to talk about. It is Sunday, and you know what Sunday means. If the markets move on a Sunday, this is generally a good sign. So I thought, well, hey, it is that time to get live with you guys, walk through what's going on in the market, start to get pretty bullish on what the hell's going to happen, and are we in and set in for a pretty big week? So, as always, we appreciate you tuning in. What's going on, Vaughn? JJ's here as well. Welcome to everybody. Do me a favor, as always, when you come in, administrative tasks out of the way first. Please ensure that you are dialed in, ensure that you're ready to rock and roll tonight, because, like I said, we've got one of the most important streams you'll watch this bull market cycle. Many people might think it was a clickbait title, but it's not. All right, we're going to break down some market structure, some news. We're going to take a listen to a couple of key things, all right? A couple of key things that's come out. But I would just reference this, by the way. I would just reference right at the very start that if you were following, watching, or listening to anyone else, you definitely got it wrong over the last 2 days. Basically, everything we called out, talked about, put on our charts, hit perfectly. So many of you may be sat in a position similar to my arm, which I've got a couple of longs going and they are printing right now. So anyway, more on that in a little bit. But the market very much good news on a Sunday, which is unusual. We don't normally get anything too crazy on a Sunday, but we're going to get into all of that and everything else going on. So as usual, if you could just tap the screen if you're on TikTok, I would massively appreciate it. Remember, it does absolutely get us pushed out in the algorithm. People are like, hey, that guy 2bit that was talking the other day is right about everything. We need to get following him. Likewise, if you're here on YouTube, again, it's important that you just hit that like button and you get bullish on it. You drop the chats and you do all that kind of crazy stuff. Massively helps out. And I don't know why I'm so hyped with my waverly fingers, but anyway. Oh my shitting Christ. Obi Joe's in the house. Oh my God. Everyone thought you were dead. Where the hell have you been, bro? Obi's back. Oh my God. I don't even know what to say. I feel marginally emotional. What's going on, buddy? Welcome back. Good to see you, man. Hope you're keeping well. But yeah, lots to talk about, lots to get into. Let's say hello to a few people, and we're going to be all over it. So Big Al's in the building. Al, you were first tonight. Who would have thought that? 37's here, Vern. Good to see you. Fitting Crypto says, let's crow, baby. What's going on? Welcome to you. Chipper's here. So as Tomato P. Nadar. Welcome, Obi Joe, as always. Swamp's here. Good to see you, man. Tomato P. 37. Yuga. What's going on? Welcome to you as well. And then everyone jumping in on TikTok as well. Let's go, TikTok. Welcome to everybody here. Vaughn, I think I've said hello to you before, but Olifar's here. Realist, welcome. 𝗥𝗲𝗹𝘁𝗲𝗱, what's going on? Scott Woodfield. Hey, Scott Woodfield, what's going on? Proper solid name, that's Scott Woodfield. Askeep Sings here. Welcome to you as well. JJ, I've said hello to you, but yeah, welcome to you again. I appreciate it. So glad I didn't sell yesterday. Started to give up. No, you see, you know what's going on. If you've been here for the last, when it was all happening, we were like, bro, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And I'm going to show you exactly why. And bear in mind, and I guess I just want to reference this, by the way. I have honestly not touched a thing on these charts. I haven't clicked a single thing. Look at this. Look at this move that we got here. This is what we drew on the line. We said Bitcoin may come down and retest this exact point. Well, look at this. I mean, it is literally to the freaking letter that it retested this, and we got the bounce exactly off this. So for many of you, hopefully you were listening, you set your longs on this line here, and kaboom, they are doing very, very well today. So I've got an XRP long open, a Bitcoin long open, I want to say SUI long open. Man, I just went balls to the wall. I was like, I know what's happening. I've seen this before. It's just a bull market correction. And yeah, we got it. So we'll talk a little bit about why that's important, though, and what is coming next. Because what you don't want to get is too overly bullish. This is still a moderately bearish setup. And I'm going to tell you some price action and some key price levels we've got to break in order for it to confirm as a bullish move. And I think that's really, really important to reference. I'm not going to sit here and show you that this is the end of the bearish move and we're all going to the moon. Everything's going to be absolutely fine. There are some key things to think about. I do need to be mindful, by the way. Someone actually said to me, in one of my comments on one of my videos today, you talk as if you're racing someone else talking about your videos. You need to look at what newscasters talk and do it like that. So, guys, we are going to take a step into the world of cryptocurrency this evening. It's going to be really important that you not only listen, but you take notes and ensure that your price predictions and, more importantly, that your actions land with conviction and that you are very much dialed in to what's coming in this bull market. We're going to be taking a look at things like Bitcoin as well as Ethereum and much more over the course of this next hour. If you're here live on YouTube, we really appreciate your time. And also if you're here on TikTok, then it's great to have you. We really appreciate the vast amount of social media presence that we seem to be gaining from many people around the world. So if you're enjoying the content, as always, it is very much favorable to support by hitting the like button. And if you do enjoy this content, please hit that subscribe button as well. So let's take a look a little bit deeper as to what's going on. Let's please. Anyway, they can go fuck themselves. That's my opinion. Right. Jesse, good to see you. Scott's in the house. Welcome. Enzo Bosh. Good to see you, buddy. Appreciate you. Tip it's turn David Attenborough. Anyway, so what do we have going on here? Why is this still slightly bearish? And why do we think we're in a positive momentum? Well, look, the reality is that we got a breakdown on what was a very obvious consolidation pattern with a move down to the downside. Now, this is generally seen as a bearish move. However, this bit here is very much a bullish move, but we do need to get back above some key price points. Ideally, a move back above 117 basically eradicates this move and says, no, this was a macro market effect and all is well. Oh, hold on a minute, 2-bit. 2-bit? I am 2-bit. Let me just move you there, TikTok, you can see. So, again, this move that we see here is actually a bearish move, okay? Now, interestingly, this is a bounce off support. So you would argue that we've got consolidation, break down, with a bullish bounce, okay? That's a fair statement, but a bounce off strong historical support. And this kind of 112 line is obviously really, really important. Now, there's a couple of key things to think where we need to see this momentum start to give us a little bit more back to the upside. So the first target, the first price we're looking at is a little bit kind of, it's a bit of an awkward one, really, because it's sort of, oh, I did not mean to do that. Why is it doing that? It's sort of a little bit higher than you would expect, which is around this range here. So it's around the 115.3 range. Why is that important? We saw both the candle body close and the candle body open here on 2 separate days on the decline. Therefore, this becomes a strong level of support that broke. And actually, we got a retest as well as the retest here. So this became a very important point. Equally, just below this acted as strong support back here as well. Now, not only that, it is important to reference that this is going to be a key macro number, as you can see here, that we did break it there as well. So this is the first line we're looking for. This is the kind of key bit that we want to see break back above, giving us this strong move. Also, and it is important to reference this, if you take the high, the local high that we had back here, and you take to the low of the previous move, then it is all the way down here. We talked about this before, by the way. So this takes us to the previous move here before we started this big move up. What do you see here? The 0.5 Fibonacci at 115,333 aligns absolutely perfect to that point here. This and thus giving us a really important level here. Now, a break above this firstly confirms that we are in a bullish breakout from the bounds. Okay, this is important. However, back in this range then confirms this is a bullish move. And what you kind of wanting to hope to see, in my opinion, and this may be a little bit crazy, but you're going to want to see this break here. So we're going to sort of, and forgive me, by the way, it's going to be super rudimental drawing, but you're going to want to see this come up here. We're probably going to see the break above, followed by the downside come and retest again, okay? That's probably going to happen off this support. You then want to see the bounce up and probably retest the top of this range, thus therefore giving us a breakout and actually then confirmation this is a bullish sentiment. Now, how do you get there? Well, you get macro wins that tell us this is a good news story. You get things coming out of the Trump administration, or you just get, you know, people standing in and getting super, super crazy and super, super bullish. So I think this is important. Equally, we could come here. We could be rejected at this level. This would basically invalidate the breakout and we break back down again. Maybe we get some slightly disappointing news. Maybe something doesn't come out that we want to retest this key support, this historical big support line. Again, looking for the bounce. The big volatility is here, by the way. This is kind of where we're looking for the break. So all of this is a little bit nonsensical. You can see the volume's relatively slow coming out the weekend. So two scenarios, one very bullish, one moderately bullish. It's probably going to take a little bit longer as to how it plays out. My view, I guess, in the short term, I actually think we'll retest this line. I think we will break this line because I think you're going to see a surge of institutional buying coming in over the course of Monday and Tuesday. You've already seen, or I'm going to talk to you about a couple of things that have already started to come through already, and we haven't even got into the markets. We'll take a look at the pre-markets as well, which look pretty interesting if you ask me. So there's some key setups. Now, where this plays out very, very differently is you can see here on the Ethereum chart. Now, I'm just going to extend this that we've had on here for a while. Sorry, TikTok, let me just move you back around again. So you can see here that this real key level of price resistance and support. So if you like, this price volatility range that we've had now drawn on here, which came key support and key areas of volatility. Look at this. We've basically traded in this on Ethereum over the course of the last few days. Now, a push up in BTC is going to break us out of this, therefore giving us a little bit more optimism to move up when it comes to Ethereum. Also, when you start looking at some of the wider altcoin numbers, i.e. the total 2 and the total 3, they are outperforming the overall market, telling us that actually there is a demand here for altcoins. Altcoins may well drag Bitcoin up. That combined with Bitcoin dominance once again coming down and a sickening amount of USDC and USDT leaving those particular areas. So if you ask me, it's a very optimistic and bullish setup going into the new week, which I think is important. And this therefore may play out favorably into where we get to. Don't forget, the interest on the CME gap will come in as well. And actually, that may give us the retest bounce that we were looking for when this plays through. That will be one that we can sort of look at tomorrow. But obviously, 1143 is going to give us kind of a CME gap from the close at 138, which was sort of down here somewhere. So that's going to be important. And then we may have to come back and get it. Or depending on how it all plays out, then we may already have kind of wicked down, got this, and it go, yeah, whatever. We've already kind of wiped that out. So very much important to think about. And I think there's some key fundamentals that are going to play throughout the course of the next 24 hours, which I think is going to be a very, very key time. And in my opinion, will unlock what the rest of the week looks like. At the same time, by the way, there is some very bullish news coming out of the administration in the US as well, which we'll sort of break down and get into a little bit more detail in just a minute. So, good. Please tell me, will gold rise when the stock market opens? I mean, I don't know, but I would expect so. It looks like it will. But you know, you never know. We'll look at pre-markets in a bit, so stick around. Thanks for the follow. Thoughts on hash flow? Don't know much about it, so I can't give you thoughts on it. Hi all, HFT, any good? What the hell is HFT? I don't even know what that is. But yeah, welcome everybody. Again, if you have any questions, thoughts, views, opinions, or you just have a question about anything, let me know. Drop it in the chat. I will get to them ASAP. Equally, we look at the DeFi section. So if you've got a coin, a meme coin, or a community you've joined, then let us know and we'll take a look at that as well. XYO. Yeah, we talked about that before, actually. I kind of feel that was okay. Remind me in about 25 minutes, then I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up as well. So yeah, but appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thanks for all the support as well. Already, you guys are crushing it. So very, very appreciative. Obi says, I've switched off now. Well, no surprise, Obi. We'll see you in about 3 months. Rob C, good to see you, man. Welcome. Johnny B, this is the worst bull market ever. Seriously, it depends. I think it's the most tactical bull market, and I think it requires the most logic, patience, and resilience in this bull market. I also, however, therefore believe it will be the most rewarding bull market we've seen yet. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. And I think if we get it right, we're going to be golden. The question is, if you're getting shaken out of your positions at the first part, if you're in a panic mode, then you are gonna come out of this and think it's literally the worst. It's the most 100%. That's what happens when you've got billions of dollars of institutional money flowing to a market that is a fixed supply. Then yeah, 100% is gonna be it's going to be a problem. How long did it take you to learn trading on charts? I taught myself, and I've taught myself over the course of the last couple of years with the help of a technical analysis course, although I wouldn't have said it was the most in-depth thing in the world, but we actually put a number of people through on this channel. The channel paid for it. So, yeah, but probably over the last couple of years. And, yeah, just kind of learned it, talked about it. We've discussed it on the channel. If you're interested, tune in, and we'll sort of take you through. But, yeah, don't get it right all the time, but pretty good, actually. The fact that move, we called that move 3 days ago perfectly. I mean, literally perfect. So much so, by the way, and I'm just going to be dead honest and open and honest, so much so, I actually bought the Pepe dip as well. So I bought more Pepe today. I'm like, yep, I'm buying this. It broke down. It went underneath and gained a 0. And I'm like, yep, this is fine. So I'm actually up already 3% of that Pepe move. So pretty pleased with that one as well. Right. The rest of the altcoin market looks pretty good, by the way. 𝗥𝗲𝗹𝘁𝗲 got a nice little move. Aerodrome up 4%. It's still way down when HBAR 7%. I don't know if you guys would have caught this. I actually did a video on HBAR on my YouTube channel. Go and watch it. Talks a little bit about why HBAR is going to be a good mover. And if you watch that video, you would have already been printing with HBAR as well. So very much good news story. Like I say, lots of altcoins are starting to move. Ondo being another one as well, which is good news, and Athea. So they've still got a bit of a way to go. Let's not kid ourselves. We're not there yet, but you know, sentiment certainly feels more positive, which is good news as well. So yeah, Pepe, please. Ahmed, yeah, literally just talked about it. So yeah, I actually 100% bought the dip on Pepe. I was like, yep, this is going to come in. You can see this kind of big support range coming in here. So it broke below it. And I was like, yeah, this feels like the absolute bottom here. Again, we'd seen Bitcoin bottom out, and I thought, yeah, I'm having a piece of this. So yeah. Robert, appreciate that, man. Hey, Robert, thank you so much. You've been commenting along with 37 and many of you other guys. It really is helping the channel out, by the way. It really is pushing the algorithm for our content. So I really, really appreciate it, guys. Doing a great job with that, by the way. Doing a great job. So, yeah. But watch out, Pepe. Loads of people are starting to talk about this. Meme coins are starting to just bubble under the surface. I've got some content coming out for you guys over the next couple of days that's going to keep you dialed in to the meme coin markets because they are looking pretty crazy. Also, if you check out my YouTube channel, if you haven't been over here, by the way, I jazzed it up a little bit. Just jazzed it up. I just thought, you know what? It's time to jazz up my YouTube channel a little bit. And if you want to get some alpha content, you want to keep up with what's going on, there's the HBAR video, look. I've now done it where you've got things like project reviews, going to tell you exactly what they're all about. You've got daily live streams, you've got shorts, altcoin predictions and what's hot, created playlist. And then I have an educational playlist as well. It's going to tell you all about kind of how you can, you know, maximize the opportunities, blah, 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 blah. Head on over there. Again, I've tried to jazz it up a little bit. And equally, the comment section as well, if you want to be involved in that. So if you're not already just dialed in, then get your ass over there because it's absolutely worth it. So trying to put some educational content out every day. So how you DCA into certain things. What does it look like to, you know, the end of the bull market, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, look, I would absolutely recommend anyone goes over there, gets dialed in because it is important to make sure that you are maxed in. And I think it's important, right? So if you're not already, then definitely get over there. Like I said, you can find all the latest news and all the latest breakdowns going on in the markets to keep you absolutely dialed in. So that is the charts. There is some bad news though, people. There is some bad news, and I'm sorry. I'm going to have to break it to you all, and I know you guys are going to be absolutely pissed at this news, but I've got to break it to you, okay? Advice, but hold on. Whoa. I'm right at 0.44 on XLM. I know it's not financial advice, but would you cut losses or wait? Vaughn, my opinion is the market's going up. Macro news is going to come in. I can't tell you what to do, but tell me the logic why you are considering selling after a massive outflow of 3 days. Then I will give you my opinion. Also, is meme coins worth it? Oh, yeah, some. But you have to be sensible. Do your own research and you lose everything. But yeah. But anyway, James Howells, everybody. James Howells may not know who this guy is. He is unfortunately given up on the fact that his 8,000 Bitcoin on his hard drive is never, ever going to be found. The city dump won't let him get it. Currently valued at $950 million. That's it. He's finally given up his search for the hard drive that he accidentally threw away. He didn't accidentally throw it away. He 100% purposely threw it away, but because he thought Bitcoin would go to zero. In 2013, that holds 8,000 Bitcoin, now worth $950 million, and he can't get it back. Let's just have a quick moment in silence for James Howells, everybody. Thanks, James Howells. There it is. You know, I mean, you're never going to find it in there, are you? You're never going to find it in there. But yeah, see you later, James Howells. Right, in other news, Bo Hines. You may know him. He is the cryptocurrency executive director, and he, once again, going absolutely macro bullish on BTC. I broke this last week where he was talking to 𝗦𝗲𝗿𝗃 and a couple of other people, specifically about a strategic reserve. Now, there's a number of things been happening over the course of the last 48 hours. Not only the threat of nuclear war and all sorts of crazy shit, but Bo Hines giving a view as to why the Bitcoin bull run is very much, and more importantly, is very, very on it. So we're going to take a quick word from Mr. Bo Hines. You guys can hear what it's all about. And yeah, let's listen to the one and only Bo Hines and what he had to say.
So you've got some breaking news for us this morning. Tell us what the plan is. Yeah, well, look, first and foremost, I just want to thank President Trump and our brilliant AI and crypto czar, David Sachs, for all the hard work that they've put in to this report and really just doing what they can to help this industry. You know, this is an industry that's been beaten down and kicked down over the course of the last decade and a half, more specifically under the Biden regime. All the blue tape that they had to fight through, the headwinds that they were pushing through just to innovate here in the United States is quite remarkable. And, you know, the president created this working group on digital assets in which I'm the executive director, and he tasked us with working across relevant agencies to produce a list of comprehensive regulations and reforms and recommendations that would create a clean and robust framework so industry knows what the rules of the road are. You know, this is no longer policy making through prosecution. We're creating an environment that will allow for these innovators to thrive and build here in the United States.
So can you give us more specifics about what this is going to look like and what these recommendations are?
Sure. So, you know, we've looked at this in really three phases. We've had the demolition phase, removing a lot of the blue tape that existed, eradicating Operation Choke Point 2.0, which was a real thing under the Biden regime. What this was, basically, for your viewers, was an attempt to prevent digital asset firms from interacting with traditional financial institutional players. And so what we've done is we've removed a lot of that blue tape that existed there, those overburdensome regulations. Then we work on construction, which construction here is a stable coin framework, which we've actually had signed into law in this past week with the Genius Act. You know, this is basically a digital dollar. It updates the archaic payment rails within our system. It creates more expeditious and transparent, more cost-effective transactions for the American people. And it also secures U.S. dollar global dominance for decades to come. But the other piece of legislation that we still have to work on is market structure. And we have clarity coming out of the House. You know, both of these bills received immense bipartisan support. So what you'll see in this report is we talk about the bones of market structure, everything that they got right in clarity, what we'd like to see the Senate chamber do and adopt as they push this second piece forward on the legislative agenda. Then we look at implementation. We're talking about tax reforms in this report. We're talking about how we protect consumers in this report. You know, this is over a 160-page document. It's quite robust, but, you know, we're really excited about it. And I just want to thank all the participants of the working group that contributed to this. Paul Atkins over at the SEC, Secretary Bessent, Secretary Lutnick, so many folks that have done so much to propel this industry forward and make sure that the United States is the leader in digital asset financial technology.
All right, Bo, so you've got some breaking news for us this morning.
Shut up, Bo Hines. Anyway, so why is that important? Well, there's a number of things within that they talk specifically about, which could come to fruition this week. You talk about tax reforms. You talk about, you know, he's openly talked about what that looks like in terms of accumulation of Bitcoin. We know that there is a tax break coming to coming to every US citizen, which I think is important. So the fact that he is standing there and saying, look, you know, we're absolutely kind of working through this. I think I've cut my thumb, by the way. It's starting to hurt. Then this, for me, is going to be really, really important. This could be, when we talk about that initial move now on the price of Bitcoin. Can Bitcoin break out? What are we looking for? Remember, we talked about this right at the very start of the show. How do we get to some of these key price levels? Well, this could be it. This is, again, my opinion as to why I think there's going to be significant institutional buying when we come in. And like I said, in my view, it has already started. What do I mean? Well, look at this. SharpLink Gaming has acquired another $53.48 million worth of Ethereum. So SharpLink Gaming right now is relentlessly buying. And my prediction, by the way, for what it's worth, I think BlackRock's going to buy about 1,400 Bitcoin tomorrow. If they do, okay, people, listen to this. If BlackRock buy 1,400 Bitcoin, I'm actually going to be way more specific, 1,378 Bitcoin, your boy might have some insider. All right, we might have actually found something. So 1,378. Someone write it down. Look at what BlackRock buy at market open tomorrow. If they buy 1,378, you better be subscribed to this channel because I'm about to blow the fucking roof off that mother trucker. Let me tell you. So keep your eyes peeled, people. It's gonna be crazy when that market opens. 1,378. Okay, write it down. Write it down. Imprint it on your brain. Get it tattooed on your arsehole. Whatever it needs to be. Make sure it is there. So yeah, good. I'm with you. Literally losing sleep for this, Vaughn. Don't worry about it. We're dialed in. I live stream 6 days a week. I put content on my YouTube channel 7 days a week. We're keeping you absolutely maxed into this bull market, my man. Just got to make sure you're here and we'll keep you absolutely rocking and rolling. So that's it. Get it in the chat, everybody. Get it in the chat. Right. So SharpLink Gaming accumulating more Ethereum. Good news. Again, one of many that are buying huge amounts of Bitcoin. And I know what you're thinking, who the hell is this 2-bit? Well, look at this. For the first time in 30 years, 2 Federal Reserve governors demanded a rate cut. They didn't go in line with Jerome Powell and the predominant view of the FOMC. Obviously, we know now that 𝗥𝗲𝗿𝗀𝗃𝗃, whatever she was called, has left, and now Trump can appoint a new member of the Federal Reserve, which will obviously be a Trump appointee. The one that left was a Biden appointee, which will be good news. But it's the first time in 30 years 2 Federal Reserve governors demanded a rate cut. So important, and we've talked about these two before as well, and we were discussing them back end of last week. So this obviously is a favorable outlook and certainly starts to put the eyes in prize when it comes to the back end of the summer, which obviously takes us into the September rate cuts, which at the minute I believe is about 85%, maybe even a little bit more, 80.3%. So a little bit of comeback, but very much bullish. Rate cut coming in September, another rate cut coming in October, and then a 𝗥𝗲𝗹𝘁𝗲𝗱 coming in December as well, over 1% potentially coming by the end of this year, which will be pretty bullish if you ask me. So yeah, good news with them. That as well, by the way, doubling down. Elon Musk basically saying that Grok, or certainly asking Grok whether the probability of quantum computers cracking a SHA-256, and again, we've talked about this on the channel before, and it simply isn't going to happen. Certainly not in the short term. So if you're ever worried about quantum computers taking your Bitcoin, it's nonsense, right? Ain't going to happen for years, so don't worry about it. And then finally, that is an important chart to reference as well, which is the BTC realized CAB hodl waves, telling us basically that the 53% of all Bitcoin is now held by long-term holders. We've been discussing this metric for the longest time, keeping everyone very much dialed in when the dips come in, understand who's selling. The reality is that the longer they hold, the more bullish we get. And you got here, you haven't moved their BTC in years, showing conviction and drying up liquidity. Demand kicks in, the squeeze won't wait. And I think this is important to reference here. Whenever you've got longer-term holders holding bigger bags, well, the price, in my opinion, is coiling like a water rocket when you pump it, and then all of a sudden it's going to burst out, and that is exactly what's going to happen in this market, in my view, okay? So good news overall, and I think definitely we are in for some pretty spicy moves very shortly. What's going on? One time, good to see you, man. Good to see you. When possible rate cut in September, everything should move the market up. Yes, with a pretty big rate cut. If they do 50 basis points, don't even calling for 150 basis points would be crazy. But yeah, dial in. You're the one I actually tuned into. I didn't know you had a YouTube. Hey, Vaughn, we appreciate you, man. Yeah, I've been on YouTube 3.5 years now. So yeah, we live stream on here, and I put content out on YouTube every single day. So yeah, if you're interested, then check it out. Is it worth buying $100 worth of £100 worth of Bitcoin? It depends what you want to do with that Bitcoin. Is it just as a new fund for later? If you want to turn that $100 or £100 into $1 million, maybe not. You know, I don't think that's going to happen, but. Again, it's worthwhile just understanding what's going on in the markets. Don't invest in it because you've seen me talk about it. Understand it, get involved in it, be here and we'll talk about it, and then you can make your own decisions. Mate, I was talking about this right at the very start. Blazer, I got a great entry in XRP. I took a SUI long, I took a Bitcoin long. Like, yeah, and they're all printing right now. So, and I actually think they're going to do very well. And I'm going to hold those mother truckers until we hit all-time highs. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for it. I'm not going to get shaken out. I'm going to panic. I'm literally going to lock them into like 100. That Bitcoin long could be an insane trade if it all plays out. And right now, obviously, I got in at like 112. So, you know, as long as we don't enter that again, pretty good. Pretty good. Right. That is kind of where we get to with a lot of the charts. Good news, if you ask me. We'll talk about a couple of bits of news in a second. But yeah, all pretty good. I feel like 2bit gives TikTok more attention than YouTube. 𝗥𝗲𝗿𝗀𝘁𝗲𝗱, you have no opinion because you haven't been here for about 6 months. So, but yeah, good to know that you haven't changed. The only difference is YouTube asks more questions. TikTok asks more questions as you guys do. But when is the next FOMC meeting? September. I think like September the 17th or something like that. Not enough bad plastic surgery to be Madonna. Yeah, man. Some of them look awful right now. It's going back to the 90s. Johnny B, get out of here. There's no room for bears in here. There's no room for bears. We're not appreciative of that. $5 XRP incoming? I hope so. I hope so. They will dump it again, do you think? 2bit available for weddings and corporate events? You know me. You know me. I'm not, by the way, but yeah. Angel Streams says SPX a good buy right now. Is that the SPX 6900? If it is, we'll take a look at it in a minute. But yeah, good to see you, man. Appreciate it. Although a bunch of liquidity building around 111. Yeah, where is Craig? I feel like Craig's really fallen out with the market right now. He really has fallen out with the market. He doesn't like it, but anyway. Right. Robinhood crypto revenue nearly doubles. This should tell you exactly what you want to hear. And this is that there is a small, and it is right now only small, by the way, resurgence in a little bit of retail investments. Some people are like, oh, hold on a minute. Bitcoin. Yeah, but I remember Bitcoin. Yeah, I remember Bitcoin. This was kind of a good thing, wasn't it? is this something I should be involved in? And we are starting to see a small return over the course of the last 30 days with certain searches, namely altcoin, Bitcoin, and crypto. We are finally starting to see a little bit more coming back when it comes to searches. So not so much, altcoins. I think people are still very much not there, but crypto and Bitcoin are now finally started a little bit uptrend the last 30 days. If you go back to the last 12 months, you can see that actually we are starting to tick back up, which is favorable to where we've been. This was the big run up in December, which tells you exactly where we are right now. This was sort of back into November, into that real hype that we saw. Markets kind of exploded post this start of the new year. Well, it's all playing out very obviously again that we're going to start ticking up to the upside. So once again, this is kind of bullish. And the fact that Robinhood doubled its revenue, this is important. And again, look at this. Robinhood reported a sharp surge in crypto-related revenue for the second quarter. Companies earning from digital asset rose by 98% year on year to $160 million. It's a pretty big deal, right? That is a pretty big deal. And then double down. And remember me saying that Arthur Hayes had sold Bitcoin? Remember we talked about this yesterday, right? And I said to you guys, Arthur Hayes sold $13 million worth of Bitcoin. The market's like totally freaking out. Everyone's like, oh my God, Arthur Hayes, he's like a super Bitcoin bull. And now it's all going to shit. Well, guess what? A large cryptocurrency whale bought a significant amount of Bitcoin. The actual number, by the way, 300 Bitcoin was bought over the course of the last 24 to 48 hours when the market dipped. What a freaking surprise. Call me, Caroline, or call me Shirley. Not surprised in the slightest. And actually, when we see this dump, you can see that we see a pump on the back of it with significant buying pressure. Always on the back, by the way, of Eric Trump telling us that we should absolutely be buying the dip. So, Eric last time when he told us to buy the dip, we dumped about another 15%. So again, be mindful of that. But at the same time, it is important to understand that I think something's coming. Sharplit Gaming's buying Ethereum. Eric Trump's telling us to buy Ethereum. We have an interesting few days ahead of us when the whole crypto act and all that kind of stuff is sort of dialed in. Nothing's really going on, though, from a macro statement. We're not seeing things like World of Finance buying any sort of crazy amounts of Bitcoin or anything like that. We saw a little bit about 6 days ago where they bought about 2.5 million USD1, which I believe is their stable coin. Maybe they just minted it. I don't know. But yeah, worthwhile thinking about. But yeah, no surprise that with this market correction, then we saw a buy the dip event where all these people that were selling and they basically bought your Bitcoin cheap, right? They bought your Bitcoin cheap. So think about that. Think about that. The other thing to note here, by the way, and I'm just going to show you guys really, really quickly. I know you're looking at the charts just because it's fun, is when we talk about what is happening in the markets, what could be about to happen. Is there anything going on behind closed doors that we need to know about? Well, once again, there is some significant amounts of movement with Ethereum. Galaxy Digital, for example, seeing around $56 million exiting Coinbase and Bitstamp going into Galaxy Digital. Again, a little bit of a suppression of price ahead of what I think is going to be a move on ETH. And I absolutely believe that we're going to get a very interesting move. I believe some people may think I'm crazy, but I generally think I'm not. So yeah, I think we'll watch out for that. It could be good news. I got 2 more bits on this drop and 10 ETH. Nice one time, man. One time's like super bullish. I love it. I love it one time. Love it. I reckon you could send me 1 Bitcoin. No one would say nothing. No one would say anything one time. You'd just be like, 2 bit. Thanks for everything, man. Here's a Bitcoin. And I'd be like, yo, cheers, buddy. Right, let me show you what I'm talking about as well. Wintermute, by the way, one of the biggest liquidity providers for the overall global cryptocurrency exchanges, are moving gigantic amounts of Ethereum, and it's happened over the course of the last 24 hours. They're moving it into Binance. They're moving it into Coinbase. Look at this. Massive amounts 6 hours ago. Over $12 million worth of Ethereum moved into Binance. Yeah, again, we can see all of this kind of stuff happening. They're stacking ETH like a madman. So think about this. You've got Eric Trump telling us about Ethereum, Sharplit Gaming buying Ethereum. We've got Galaxy Digital stacking Ethereum on its platform. You've got Wintermute moving huge amounts of Ethereum around. If you are not bullish enough on what's coming, then I don't know what to tell you. It is about to get freaking crazy, and I think Ethereum, in my opinion, is going to drag the altcoin market again aligned to this breakout. We need to see MACD and RSI trend slightly more favorably as to where we are right now, but I think something big is coming, and I think it's coming for Ethereum, so watch out. In my opinion. Right, good. Aptos, what's going on, buddy? Welcome. Shane's in the house. Well, everybody. welcome to you guys. We appreciate you tuning in. Don't forget, do all the good stuff, which is great. Big Al's exchange. What's going on, Holmes? Good to see you. Big Al says, all of my 5 phones are working hard on my trades today like a... I nearly said it. And I don't know if it would be a problem, by the way. I just don't want to say it. 2-bit, the GTRS order was placed. It's the only way, bro. Yeah, mine's coming on Friday, so I'm pretty hyped about that. It is a Matchbox toy, though. But yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Right, I was going to show you guys something else really, really quickly. So, there we go. That's what I want. That's what I want. USDCE looking good. Oh, Al. What do you like, bro? What do you like? Right, let me show you something else that is very telling in my opinion. And once again, is certainly, in my view, printing something obvious that I believe is going to be coming. Again, nothing financial advice on this channel, is only my opinion. But look at this. Well, the market was tanking its arse off. Look at this. The white line being the price of Ethereum heading down. What was happening? We were seeing huge amounts of Ethereum being staked. So people were buying the dip and staking that mother trucker for that 6% return. So again, think about how and why people would stake Ethereum. It locks it up and it starts to get pretty crazy. So there's a number of things going on, I think, at a macro level that people simply don't look at. All people have done is panic, sold, not bothered getting involved in the markets. These are the opportunities you simply cannot afford to miss. While everyone is fearful, your opportunity is that you should be greedy. Excuse me. And if you weren't, then that's fine. Don't stress it. And again, some people can, some people can't. My view, though, and again, if you haven't seen my video talking about how to DCA, I definitely recommend going and watching it. It is a perfect opportunity and has been over the course of the last couple of days. But understand what's going on. Whatever retail or whatever people are panicking, there are massive accumulations going on from many different companies, and they are all buying cryptocurrency. And I think we're going to see this continue into this week. And certainly, in my view, we're going to see a very favorable week ahead. That's my thoughts. So I decided to put your YouTube channel playing on the big screen and here and on here, voice and this at one time. Enjoy that, mate. Let me tell you, that's going to be super bullish. I reckon you're gonna love it. Yeah, I love the fact that people listen to me. But you know, it's funny. I don't know how to say this, but yeah, my sister's meant to be watching me. But if she says who she is, then everyone will know who my sister is. So she shouldn't say something. But if you are watching, good to see you today. Anyway, right, it's actually in disgrace. What is Obi? He denied it when I said it. We back to this again. More bullish than RUSD. Yeah, maybe. That makes sense one time. Yeah, get it. Did you ever speak to your workmate about crypto guy who ran? Yeah, do you know, weird thing was, I actually spoke to him on Saturday. It was really awkward, actually. And he might be in here. And in the end, it wasn't awkward. But what became super awkward about it, he was like, oh, can I ask you a question? And bear in mind, I'm like in proper work outfit. And it's like, I'm in my work. And he's like, ask you a question. And I was thinking, I don't know what this is. This going to be about work or is it going to be about something else? And he was like, so like, do you just do that every night? Like, do you like talk about cryptocurrency and like go on TikTok and do this? And I was like, yeah, pretty much. It sort of started as a bit of a hobby that's turned into be a little bit kind of a bit more serious. And he went, yeah, well, what do you think about that stuff I've been texting you? And I was like, texting me? And he was like, yeah, I've been messaging you on TikTok. Like, you messaged me asking about how my trading was going, like what coins I'd bought. And I was like, nope, that's not me. That's not me. He was like, oh, right. I just thought you were really keen. You've sent me like 12 messages from like 18 different accounts. And I was like, no. That's not exactly what's happened. Like, some proper scammers are like, oh, how are you enjoying the cryptocurrency trading? So we put that right. But yeah, it was good. It was good. Ian, do you think the bottom is in? I think the momentarily dips in, and that's why I went long from a number of positions that we talked about on the channel. So yeah. Yeah, you've been warned about asking for people sending the DMs. I know. My view, by the way, I'll never send you a message unless we've communicated anyway, which is fine. So, for example, like me and Holmes have chatted offline, me and Tim have chatted offline, blah, 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 blah. Like, I will happily message you guys first, but if we've never messaged, I won't message you. Yeah, he was like properly like, I was like, bro, you need to just delete all them. I actually sent him a message from my account. I was like, look, I'm never really going to like have a conversation because it gets super weird. But if you got any questions, then feel free to ask. But yeah, he had been like telling him about his portfolio, what he'd bought, and he was like asking my opinion. And I was like, bro, that's not me. Like, that's not me. That's not me at all. So yeah, pretty crazy, but that's the world we live in, unfortunately, isn't it? That is what the scam artists are all about. Remember, everyone's out to grab your cryptocurrency cheap, but they're going to even try and make you sell it, or they're going to try and make you scam it. All crazy. All crazy. So yeah, pretty well. You thought it was one of those, yeah, I get it all the time. All the time. Anyway, right. Let's keep an eye on what's going on here with the markets. I was going to show something else, and I can't even think what the hell was I going to show you guys? I can't remember. Sorry. People are so gullible. Yeah, especially people that are new to the market, and he's relatively new. New investors kind of got into Revolut, looking to get into the market. You know, maybe the first tranche of sort of retail investors to come in. And this is the problem. Like, this is why people need to be dialed into good channels with good people, good communities that want to see people succeed. And, you know, so many people out there are just trying to take what they can. It is a shame, but, you know, look, equally, it's a painful lesson. And, you know, I've been scammed enough times. I'm sure many people have as well. So, yeah, shut up, Jesse, weirdo. JR, what's going on, buddy? You can understand why he would think you would message him, though, knowing yeah, 100%. And don't forget, they have my profile, and that's the problem. My TikTok isn't big enough to have it verified. Obviously, my X account's verified. YouTube's 100,000 subscribers, and then you can verify your YouTube account, but it's very difficult to scam people on YouTube, in my opinion. So, but yeah, hopefully we'll get there. I mean, you know, that'll be a good thing. And like I said, hopefully we can get verified on TikTok at some point, but we need a bit more traction yet. Good, right. If you've got any questions, thoughts, by the way, do drop them in the comments. Also, by the way, if you haven't already, just do me that favor. Go grab all that thumbs up and give it a little tickle. Likewise, here on TikTok, just tap that screen. It does massively help out and makes people get super bullish. So, worthwhile, in my opinion. In my opinion. I love that you're still pushing that narrative, Al. I love it, actually. It makes me smile knowing that that's still deep down inside really grates on you that you were wrong. And you know you were wrong, and you instantly went to the defense of, oh, no, that was yesterday, bro, that was yesterday. It's there, it's just gonna eat you alive. I'm only kidding. I mean, I'm not really, but I'm only kidding. Right, Angel Streams, what's going on, buddy? Welcome with the $sign. Love that. What's going on, Vern? Appreciate the heart me's. Grabbing those points, baby. Grabbing those points. JR, you need to get into the Telegram then if you are, because there's some stuff happening that you need to know about. Hey, today, what do you think about XDC? Well, we talked about XDC before, I think, on the channel. Do we still have it on here? I don't think we do we? Oh, we do. 3.7%. Holy shit. ENA's up 15% today. Yeah, XDC, ISO 222. We talked about this before, didn't we? I talked about XDC and I could never get involved with it because I thought the volume was always pretty low. But I mean, look, it's printing right now. So shout out to XDC. I mean, overall, you know, macro side of things a little bit painful. But yeah, XDC looks pretty bullish in my opinion. Yeah, you just need, JR, you need to just go and read you just need to go in the Telegram, read it. It's worth it. Trust me. It is worth it. Just go right now, go into the Markets Telegram and just have a look at one of the pinned messages. And yeah, you just need to go and do that. Good. Yeah, XDC, I kind of liked it. I liked the infrastructure, logistics, you know, blockchain powering logistics. I thought was kind of a pretty good narrative as well. Just never quite had the volume that I thought it needed to kind of make a bit of a move. But I mean, it feels like it's kind of dialing in the right direction now, which would be good. So yeah, which would be good. SHX still up. Oh, cheers to that, Tomato Pete. I love that. Thanks, mate. Love it. Love it. I mean, the market is kind of spicy a little bit, isn't it? 114.3. Be nice to push this line. 115.2. We could get there, by the way. We've seen very much positive movement on the markets over the course of the last couple of Sundays, where we've actually seen significant growth back end of the day. So, you know, hopefully we sort of see that play out favorably over the next couple of hours. That would be very much good news. I kind of feel like we're going to get some sort of crazy announcement. I don't know why, actually. I just it feels like something is there for some sort of announcement somewhere. I don't know what it'll be, but it feels like something's coming anyway. Yeah, just go to the Telegram. If you got any questions about Markets, go to the Telegram. And if you haven't gone to the Telegram, then you need to go to the Telegram. All will become very obvious when you go to the Telegram. The day reminder of SHX. Okay, I'm looking at it. You guys win. Let me have a look. SHX. Oh, it's up fucking 10%. There you go, look, there you go. Yeah, SHX is printing it once again, looking pretty bullish. Up 10%. $342 million market cap. I'm sure I sold it at about 30 million. Announcement emergency rate cut. No way. No freaking way that's true, bro. Is that coming from that stupid watch? What was it called? 𝗥𝗲𝗹𝘁𝗲𝗱 or something. No way that's true. No way that's true. Where are you hearing that? Because I can't see that. Reading between the lines, some things about going to Telegram. I could be wrong. Maybe. Maybe. 𝗥𝗲𝗹𝘁𝗲𝗱? Nah. No way, bro. 𝗥𝗲𝗹𝗁. Fun fact, 10 years ago. Yeah, you guys are full of shit. You know that. Absolutely full of it. Get out of here. Get out of here, you massive choppers. It's on 𝗥𝗲𝗃. Yeah, obviously. There's no rate cut. There's no rate cut. All there is Eric Trump telling us to buy the dip on Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's all there is. All right. Eric Trump's bullish. What's it called? Was it called 𝗥𝗲𝗃𝗁 or something? I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but there's no sign of rate cuts. That's just a non-true. Yeah. Dodgy jobs figure it's needed. I mean, that's true, Ali G. Yeah, the jobs figure. Well, they fired the woman that looks after it. Like, get out of here. You did a bad job. You're getting fired. That is, you know, it's harsh words, isn't it? It's a harsh life out there. If you fiddle your numbers over the course of the last 2 years. By the way, I think the last time it was revised that badly was like 20 years ago, something crazy. So, yeah. Yeah, and Biden appointee, I believe, not that I'm political, by the way, but I believe that was, you know, that was kind of true. So, yeah, pretty crazy. 𝗥𝗲𝗃𝗁 is more accurate than 𝗥𝗲𝗃𝗁. It just isn't, is it, though? Like, it's just made up stuff. It's made up stuff, like, 𝗥𝗲𝗃𝗁. Get out of here. They're not going to rate cut. They won't. I don't believe there's a reason to emergency rate cut. I'd be really surprised. Really surprised. But yeah, I'm keeping an eye on it. Trump economic advisor fires back at NBC host over shooting the messenger, claiming that BLS firing, whatever that means. Don't know. Again, there's nothing going on at the minute. There's no official. I am keeping up for up-to-date news, though, so that you guys get it first hand right here. But yeah, as it stands, no rate cuts at the minute. And I don't believe they will, by the way. I just don't believe they will. I don't believe they have a need to. When do they go to recess anyway? Is it kind of, does anyone know? You guys must know when that is. An emergency rate cut will cause problems and say we are in a recession. Depends what they cut. But I mean, yeah, I don't think they need to do it. But if they were to do some sort of like, you know, 50 basis points cut now, especially now, if they did it maybe the day after or the day we got that employment data, then maybe that would have been a thing. But yeah, I don't believe that they would do it. Check out the link in the description on my YouTube channel. The last time I said it, I got banned, so I'm not going to say it. But yeah, if you go to my YouTube channel, go to the description of one of my videos, you'll see that my exchange partner is pinned at the top. Chill House ready to go high. Check it out. I actually have it here. Look, I saw this yesterday. It was like it started rallying yesterday, but it's on dump again as well. And do you know the only thing I don't like about this? I feel like these big candles are manipulated, which I'm not sure if it's like a volume mechanic or something, but yeah, I mean, it looks pretty good in fairness. It'd be interesting to see where this dump comes down. But yeah, I actually am tracking Chill House in fairness. So yeah. Home search history is defo, so you need ID now to KYC, bro. Yeah, you got to be careful. Yes, bits plays, but low leverage, decent margin. You are more favorable. Risk versus reward ratio is always what you can take. You can lose everything when you get to leverage. So be sensible. But if you are looking for anything, go and check out the pinned comment. Not the pinned comment. Check out the description. You'll see it on most of my videos, by the way. It's the top pinned, the top one. Is MSCI buying 4.2 billion tomorrow? No, they're raising capital to buy that. You've got Metaplanet that are setting to raise 2.3 billion. You've got MicroStrategy, or more commonly known as Strategy, raising debt to finance 4.2 billion. So you got about $7 billion that's going to enter the market at some point. Yeah, I do 100 to 500. Mike, can you have a look at Wayfinder and Oracle Chainlink, please? What the hell is Wayfinder? Let me bring CoinMarketCap up. Let's do it. Wayfinder sounds crazy. Up 6%, $26 million market cap, volume at 12 million. Man, the volume looks pretty good. It's absolutely, well, in fairness, it launched in April 2025. So it's not super old, but it looks like it is on Coinbase though. I don't know what it is, by the way, but from a charting perspective, it doesn't look great. If I'm dead honest, I don't necessarily think it looks like a great chart. The fact it's on Coinbase though is super weird. It's only doing 440k on Coinbase though, so you're like, Wayfinder, machine intelligence on machine networks, right? Yeah, wouldn't say I'm super crazy about it, but I don't know a lot about it. It's hard to make a decision in a 30-second look at it. I'm fixing to have to go. Well, I'm fixing to have to go to my hairstylist coming to the house. Wow, one time, love it. An Oracle chain link. Anyone know? Oracle Chainlink doesn't come up. I'm assuming you mean in Oracle or Chainlink. Peter McCormack found Bitcoin because of his... yeah, it wasn't for that. True. Yeah, I mean, that's crazy, isn't it? I mean, it's definitely a bad thing to get. Ray says, thoughts on Spark? I don't know much about Spark, to be honest. Should I know something about that? Spark. $100 million market cap. The 347th highest ranked cryptocurrency out there right now. I don't know much about it, to be honest. On Binance, doing $14.4 million on Binance. Wow. That's pretty epic. And actually the chart looks pretty bullish as well. So yeah, that one, Spark, looks decent actually. Might have a little bit of breaking news for you guys. Well, it's not really breaking news actually, more interesting news. Tariff revenue again rose in July. Monthly government revenue from customs duties and certain excise tasks. Trump really might bring another $4 trillion of revenue over the next decade. This much additional income for the federal government almost guarantees that even if Democrats eventually adjust them a bit, Trump's tariffs are here to stay. July looks like $29.6 billion. He could announce this week that he's going to do sort of like, you know, sort of like a payback thing. That would be pretty crazy, wasn't it? Bitcoin is moving up a little bit, so yeah. Looks like we might get that test on that range, you know. That'd be pretty good. That'd be pretty good. I'll try it again. I'm fixing to go because I have my hairstyle. Okay, no dramas one time. You're off. I get it. I get it. No dramas, mate. Enjoy your haircut. Hopefully it's all good. Just don't get a buzz like I have. So he's saying all I need to do is do... I mean, that's true. Maybe. OBJ, that'd be pretty crazy if that was the advice, wouldn't it? Imagine that. Imagine if that was just like, oh yeah, do this and you're going to be absolutely gigafine. That'd be crazy. Anyway, keeping very much dialed into what's going on in the markets. Just seeing anything going on here. Doesn't look like it. All social media is a little bit quiet, isn't it? Everyone's a little bit like, oh. Yeah, Remco, I saw that they're trying to be dragged through the court and stuff. Again, though, the problem you've got is if this is actually going to put this amount of money in there, as much as they might say that they don't want to do it and they're using like old trade laws from God knows where. And if that's chucking money into the US government, they'll do it. Like, it would be silly to not do it if we're honest. Yeah, it's wild, Holmes. That's wild. What about 𝗥𝗲𝗹𝘁? I don't know anything about 𝗥𝗲𝗹𝘁. Not a clue. Why is the market not pricing it in yet? Because you can't really see it. The problem is the market's pricing it in on the opposite. So when you look at CPI, and we looked at it last time, you can actually see tariff impact on things like new automobiles, manufacturing. Like, don't forget the manufacturing reports recently have been garbage, like proper garbage. So that's why Trump came out and said that 4 or 5 months, the markets are all going to get like super, super crazy because the problem is that manufacturing in the US is in decline and the tariffs are impacting it. So new car sales are down, parts are down. So albeit the market is kind of pricing tariffs in, but it's not pricing it in the good way. It's pricing it in the bad way. You can take a look at, let me show you this dead quick. This is not helping actually. There we go. There you go. So this is kind of, I mean, it's from April, so it's a little bit out, but you can sort of see how it was all playing out. This is on manufacturing. So world economics on growth projects per region. So you got United States, Europe, all the rest of it. Specifically on manufacturing jobs. This is from the IMF. So you can see the US in decline, whereas you see, generally speaking, most other countries are in growth, specifically on manufacturing. So the markets aren't pricing tariffs in at the minute because tariffs are, unfortunately, in some of the key areas, still driving a negative sentiment in. Like we said, you look at last CPI report, and we talked about it here on the channel, it was actually very damning in some of the key areas where you are now seeing tariff implications filter through to the consumer, which, again, isn't particularly wonderful and certainly is where you've got it. Overall, yes, money is going into the federal government. It is not going into the pockets, though, of the US citizens, which will always feel a little bit bad. Now, over time, I'm sure that would be more favorable, but that's why he's obviously thinking about doing some sort of tax benefits. Don't forget, next week, so not this week, we've gone into the week after. So Tuesday, we get CPI report. That is going to be probably one of the most important CPI reports we'll get all year, followed by Thursday, the 14th, which will come in with the PPI report. So you'll get consumer price index and the producer price index, which I think are going to be important. They are not next week, the week after, so the 12th and the 14th. That's going to pretty much give us a interesting debate. So, for example, if CPI came in, let's say that it comes in really hot, really, really hot, that you actually then are in a concern that, you know, maybe inflation spikes, you could get a cut maybe in August, like an emergency cut, but I don't think so. It would have to be like a fucking 2.6% CPI. PPI will be an interesting one as well. Bear in mind, they expect flat on core. Core obviously being exclusive of things like fuel and food and all the volatile markets. But yeah, PPI year over year, 2.3 is the forecast. Flat core PPI, which would be pretty good, by the way. CPI is looking at 0.2. So I think there'll be two interesting macro statements that could define where the market's going to go. You know, we might end up being pretty crazy over the course of the next couple of weeks. So we'll see. We'll see. Right. Congress needs to decide this change max for 6 months and only under extreme conditions. So Canada supporting Palestine did not qualify. No challenge in appellate court. Yeah, I mean, the debate, and I saw a thing about that where it was like, you know, that can't be a reason to put tariffs on. The tariffs are meant to be specifically about encouraging trade or in terms of how you get to trade, not a political stance. Yeah. Look, I agree at the same time. I agree. So we'll see. Yeah, never been on it, OBJ. I have no intentions of going over there. It feels like one of those places that once you get in there, you're like, yeah, you might never leave. You might never leave. A little bit by, you know, like Butlin's Minehead or something like that. Once you get there, there's just no way out. There's no way out. Good. Right. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Tariffs are not bullish simple. Yeah, I think, yeah, it's hard to get into a world of short-term tariffs being good news. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Longer term, maybe they play out favorably or that they don't impact as much. The debate, while we continually go back and forth, while Trump continually changes his ideas, his plans, his thoughts, and then just will like randomly drop a tariff on Brazil at 50%, is they're not being one-time, you know, one-hit wonders. They're being drawn out. They're being, you know, much more difficult as it all plays through. And I think that's what people don't like. That's what people don't like. So, yeah. No way out of Butlin's Minehead. Yeah. Once you're there, you can't get out of the red coats, can't you, baby? Oh, dear. Al, do you think a blue card? Do you think I had it in me? I couldn't think of anything worse. I can honestly say, I'm not flexing here, I have never been to a Butlins. Never in my life been to a Butlins, so yeah. I do have bad news, though, for you guys, by the way. I'm actually on holiday this time next week. So this time next week, I won't be here. Not quite sure what we're going to do for a week. I don't think we'll have live streams for a week, if I'm honest. So you might have to forgive me. But yeah, this time next week, I will not be live. Unless anyone else wants to kind of hold the channel down. You know, which is fine. I actually think you probably could. I need to understand how people do it. But like, yeah. Like Crypto Banter does it. And Lab of Crypto do it. Like, I'm sure there's some ways of doing it. Maybe I just try and find some sort of special guest to come and do it. It'd be funny, wouldn't it? Just like some random person, Tim here. Yeah, Al, I'm pretty sure I won't have a channel to come back to, if I'm honest. I've seen what some of your trading patterns are. Me and Holmes, you and Holmes, yeah, holding it down. Imagine. Hi, lads. I tried to go to the YouTube channel and looks like it's not there. Any ideas? Yeah, about that. We started talking about the most favorable, flaccid chart pattern, and yeah, it just all went off. Don't know why. Don't know why. I'm looking into investing into Coinbase. What do you think? As in the stock. I don't even know what this Coinbase stock is like. What's it like? It tanked, didn't it? Was it COIN? Yeah, Coinbase Global on the NASDAQ. 314. I mean, man, this was like 50. Remember, this was $55. Holy crap. This was $55 at one point. I don't know too much about it, but it is the center of all things traditional finance and a direct link into the crypto markets. Would I invest? I mean, look, I used to invest in stocks and I don't anymore. I'm not really asked about stocks anymore. I'm more dialed into what the crypto markets are all about. So, I mean, look, is it a bad investment? Maybe not. Difficult to say, really. And difficult to say what's going to happen with it. Does it tank because of markets? They've obviously launched a couple of interesting products that maybe people don't like. So yeah, you'll have to kind of wait and see what that looks like, but we'll see. Right, really quickly, it's probably a little bit too early on the pre-markets, but it looks a little bit painful. I'm not gonna lie. It looks a little bit painful. Pre-markets on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange look down 1%. The Nikkei looks down 0.6%. You get into futures markets and the NASDAQ, the Russell, all look like they're going to open pretty aggressively down, actually. So we might see a fairly shit opening. If we're dead honest, look at this. On the fair value, on the futures index, on the Dow, down 576 on the implied open number. So, yeah, could be pretty painful. This still hasn't updated fully, but yeah, we're going to have to watch out for this. It might be a little bit. What we could probably do with seeing is the Asian markets buy, but not too crazy. It'd be nice to push it to 115. I would generally like to see this break above this line. That's what I'm looking at. If we can get a break above that line, I'd be pretty happy in terms of BTC. So I don't want to see too much crazy inflows from the Asian markets. European markets hold the price. US markets push it a little bit, I think. Is that? Oh, it's in my face. What the was that? Why is it getting me? Oh. Someone just blew my face. What the hell was that? What was it? It flew like right in my face. It's not daddy long legs. It's like a moth or something. I don't know where it is. It like flew right in my face. Right in my face. Like literally right in my face. Like what the hell was that? What the hell was that? Luke, what's going on? Welcome. It wasn't a daddy long legs, you massive weirdos. It wasn't a daddy long legs. It was like a moth or something. I thought I punched its head in, but maybe not. Don't know where it's gone. It flew right in my freaking face. What the hell's that about? It just absolutely flew in my face. Why did it float? Why did it float? Why did it like went like around this and then literally flew into my fucking face? Why did it fly in my face? Jesus. Honestly. Wasn't a daddy long legs though. There's quite a few spiders in here. There's a massive spider up there, but it's fine. But yeah. It was worth coming back just for that. Thanks, Obi. Yeah, I appreciate all the nice, comments. Literally flew it at my face, whatever it was. Whatever it was, decided it was going to try and take me out. Well, turns out my face is pretty solid. I kind of feel like it's somewhere about that. I feel like it's watching me. Anyway, I feel like... I mean, where's it gone? I cleaned all my keyboard out the other day, by the way. That was pretty good. 2-bit blooper video will make for a good shot. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Tripping 2-bit. No, something definitely flew in my face. Something definitely 100% flew in my face. That is an absolute 100% certainty. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, people should start clipping these live streams. Get it out there. Like, it's the way to do it. Start clipping, baby. Right. Anyway, with that being said, we got about 10 minutes left on the stream and I'm out of here. JS has got no words for you to it. Thanks, mate. I appreciate that. I assume you mean about the moth, by the way. Or whatever it was that just flew directly into my face. Send it to the program that you send the videos to for fun. Anyone remember the name? You're on about with Jeremy Beadle. What was it called? You've Been Framed. It was literally called You've Been Framed, yeah. You might be the new Mothman. Imagine that. I guess you need a vacation on Remco. I can't believe you didn't see it. It was like a moth that flew like right into my face. Come on, guys. Come on, like it flew directly in my face. Like, give me a break. I feel like it's on me. I feel like something's on me. Ooh. I'm not even bothered by moths, but I don't like when they fly in my face. It could have gone in my mouth. Looks like a fruit fly. Shut up, Al. It's definitely not a fruit fly. Definitely not a fruit fly. Anyway, Anyway, Steve, what's going on? Even 2-bit well, thank God for that. The worst is over for the mad 3 days at work, but there's joys working for yourself. I mean, that's true. That is true. One day, I hope to be doing that here as well. So, yeah. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we can do it. Do you know, Steve, I probably need to, I'm probably thinking more and more about this. Setting up a company, but I need to understand how it affects my normal job as well. But I feel like maybe setting up a company is not a bad idea. And then calling it like, I don't know, like 2-bit media or something. So it can like have all my YouTube, TikTok, any ad revenue and all that kind of stuff going into it. And obviously you pay less tax, right? And I can officially call myself a director of a company, which would be kind of nice. But yeah, I need to have a look at it. I used to do it. I had normal, just, and a company. Oh, really? And it doesn't like affect taxes or anything like that. Did you tell your other company? Because I feel like my other company might get weird about it. Yeah, no doubt, 100% less tax is definitely better. Yeah, so need to have a look at it. Oh, my TikTok just went a bit weird then, but it's actually for me to verify that I'm still here. I thought it was about to ban me. Oh God, can you imagine? So I need to have a look at it and see. I feel like it's worthwhile. I feel like I probably need to just see what that looks like. But yeah, you told them, right? Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that's probably where I want to get to. Really, probably where I want to get to. I just need to have a look at it. Like, I know there's like a fee to it and stuff, isn't there? Hold on a minute. You know what? You know what we need to do here? Chat GPT. Hold on a minute. Easy peasy, mate. Talk to me. I'll sort it out for all of you. Is that true? Yeah. So, Moz comes as sole trader, limited company, separate legal entity, more admin, but limited liability, partnership, share responsibility. Okay, yeah. So you want limited company, which means that you don't lose your house and shit, right? Company name, register the company on company's house, costs £12 online, register for taxes. After you set up, you must register for corporation tax within 3 months. If turnover exceeds £90,000, register for VAT, register for PAYE, open a business bank account. Okay. Set up accounting. You need to file annual accounts, get a license or permit, arrange insurance legally required if you employ anyone, public liability, professional indemnity, and business content. Okay, maintain compliance. Oh, that looks pretty easy, actually. Right, I need to have a look at that. I mean, I've literally typed it in. It says 12 quid online. £71 postal. It costs £50. You can be paid on your company's usual rate within 24 hours. That's kind of wild. It's kind of wild that you just do that. 50 quid. Yeah, is that what it is? Yeah. 3 pieces of personal information. Tell us about yourself, shareholder, guarantors, for example. Okay. Pretty wild. Yeah. Cast 0. XRP 10K. Follow Curtis for more. Curtis knows what's up. Curtis knows what's up. Right, I need to have a look at that. I mean, it looks pretty straightforward, not gonna lie. And that's it. And then you're like there. You just like set up. Yeah, I'm down for that. That should be pretty crazy. Yeah, I think so, Holmes. I don't necessarily think it's going to be a very long one, but yeah, I'm down for it. My cousin is an accountant and he sorts everything. Oh, nice. Nice, Steve. Tide Monzo account and it's cheap. Do a bit business show now, yeah. Anyway, right, good. Aiden says, don't set up a company limited because your name will be on it. Set up a trust company. Ooh, someone sent me this the other day, actually. Someone sent me this as a kind of a, yeah, like a trust thing. Yeah, I need to have a look at it, really. Need to have a look at it. Right. I don't necessarily think we've got anything else. It is 10 o'clock. So I'm going to be getting up and out of here in the next sort of 5, maybe, well, next 5 minutes. Got a call with some absolute choppers. So, yeah, we'll sort of see what that looks like. And yeah. Bits Blaze, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, appreciate that home as well. Cornish Crypto! Man, it has been a freaking minute since I've seen you. Absolutely been a minute since you've been here. Man, all the OGs are coming back out. What's going on, buddy? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Look at Fartless Coin. Oh, that better not be good. I'm serious. That better not be printing right now. That better not be printing. You are fucking kidding me right now. Are you actually joking me right now? $2.9 million market cap. No freaking way, bro. No freaking way. No. Come on. Come on. Bruh. You have got to be winding me up. Where is it? Where is it? Hold on a minute. Look at this, boys. Look at this. Right, I think this is going to work. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Look at this. This is a bot I'm using. Look at this. It called Fartless at $300,000 market cap. Literally called it to me 7:59 this morning. Take a look at this. It came up at $359. I went and had a look at it and I was like, man, it's probably not going to be anything. $302,000 market cap. That's what it called that at. So there you go. There you go. And it's at what? 2.3 minutes. That would have been a 10x from 8 o'clock this morning. Come on, bro. Like, what the flipping heck? Come on. How? Bro, check out Colonel Dow, under 100 million market cap. Okay, let's have a look at it. Dead quick, and then we are out of here. Colonel Dow. This one? No. Aiden, thanks, man. Appreciate it. No. Head on over to my YouTube channel, Joe. There's a full video talking about it. Bro, check out 𝗥𝗲𝗹𝗁. What the hell? I'm typing Camel. 𝗥𝗲𝗹𝗁. Camel DAO. It's not coming up. Oh, it is Colonel Dow, yeah? It is Colonel Dow. Colonel Dow, yeah? Colonel Dow. Colonel Dow. It's here. It's at 320k. This can't be right. This can't be the right one. I can't find it. We'll have a look at it. But is it on CoinMarketCap? I will look at CoinMarketCap. If it's not there, then I'm moving on. Big D's in the house. What's going on, pal? Muller Army been pumping. Took off a 5k. Nice, really rich. I like it. Man, I can't believe that Fartless coin. That would have been a 10x play. Oh, yeah, Colonel Dow. There you go. Look. Man, it's up 4%. $39.89 million market cap. The chart looks not great. Albeit it's on an uptrend, but it looks pretty pants from where it's been. Down 58% overall. Last 7 days, down 14%. It's on 1 day, it's up 4%. In the month, it's up. So in the month, it's doing all right, in fairness. So in the month, I'll give you that. It actually is up on the month, doing okay. So yeah, interesting. Interesting, if you ask me. But everybody, that does bring us to the end of the show as always. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. I appreciate your time. We'll obviously be back tomorrow night, 4 p.m. Eastern. But don't forget, you will have content dropping live on YouTube if you're not already subscribed to the channel, or if you're not already subscribed to be here on TikTok as well. Make sure that you are. We have content dropping every single day, making sure that you are dialed into this bull market. Lots of bullish news, and we just broke 37,400 holders. So if you want to be part of the community, then again, hit that subscribe button. Smash up the like button, as always. Tap the screen on TikTok. We're going to be back tomorrow talking all things cryptocurrency. But until then, thanks so much, everybody. I'm going to catch you on the flip side.